bumper and everything?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, let's start.
Check, check. Check, check. Ladies and gentlemen. Okay. All right. Ms. Jiang, are you still with us? Okay. We're going to do a run through where I'll be reading some introductions for you later. But before that, I'll be going through the agenda a little bit. So I will be reading. So we're just, the role play is, we've just finished the first panel discussion. And I'm just going to give a few statements before I introduce you. And also, I'll be handling the stage to you at the very end. So that's what we're going to do at this moment.
Okay, sounds good.
Right, the cue would be the stage is yours. So that's where a bumper will come in before you speak, and you may commence right after that bumper.
Okay.
So we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, having participated in the lively discussion of the first topic of the panel discussion, we are now entering the second topic, unlocking financial inclusion as the pathway towards economic inclusion. Once again, we invite you to participate in the discussion in person or online by submitting your questions, which will later be answered by the panelists in the Q&A session before the end of the discussion. For those joining online, you may submit your questions through the chat box by stating your name, institution to whom your question is addressed to, followed by the question. For those present at the venue, you may raise your hand during the Q&A session, and the moderator will give you time to deliver your question. Please also state your name and institution and to whom the question is for. Our moderator for the second panel discussion is the Principal Operation Officer of IFC, Regional Lead of Sustainability, Innovation, and MAF and Skill. She drives operational excellence and innovation, oversees FIG Advisory Service regional effort on climate, digital finance, microfinance, and alternative finance, and skill in Asia and Pacific. Ms. Jiang Fangfang has over 16 years experience in leading MSMEs and digital innovation in various leadership positions in IFC, leading banks, and international consultation firms. Her clients cover regulators, association, and leading banks, non-bank financial institutions, and tech platforms providing financial service in Asia. Now I'd like to give the floor to lead the panel discussion on the second topic to Ms. Jiang Fangfang. The stage is yours.
Thank you. Hello,
okay.
Can you hear me? Hi. You can hear me, right? Okay, so yes, I can do a little bit dry run here. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We have the honor today to invite a distinguished panel of speakers who will share their experience and knowledge to accelerate financial inclusion of the underserved segment, especially women, youth, MSMEs, and social benefit recipients. Especially taking advantage of the development of digital and innovative approach amidst of COVID-19. So that will be my first part. And afterwards, I will hand over the floor to the panelists one by one. Do you expect me to introduce those panelists as well? To MC, yes, question to MC.
Yeah, do you have any information about the panelists? Like
I only have their name and their title. I don't have their bios.
Yeah, but you don't have their, do you have their bios?
No.
No, you don't. So maybe you don't have to, you just mention their title and names.
Okay. Okay. So I will mention that we will have Lucia. I don't know her title yet, but she's from the German Federal Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development. And the second guest, third, and fourth, I will just go through the name and their title one by one. After I receive the latest panelist list from you. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, good. Then after my short introduction of the panelist, I will then ask them to come forward and share with us their insights about financial inclusion, the practice, knowledge, lessons learned, case studies, so on and so forth. So the flow will be, each one of them will talk for about 5 minutes. And after 20 minutes in total, since we have 4, I will then close it and move to Q&A. So the 5 minutes presentation by each one of them, do you expect me to ask some questions during that 20 minutes as well? Just in case, if they just talk for 1 minute. I might have to give them some hint so that they can continue and finish these 5 minutes.
Yes, if it is less than 5, maybe you can ask something. And maybe after their presentation, you can also say something like a concluding sentence.
Of course.
Is that possible?
Yes. Yeah. Okay, so that is always helpful. So I will say concluding sentence, and then I will invite the second guest to talk. After all 4 panelists finish their talking, then we will open the floor for Q&A. I do have 4 questions you have prepared for me, but you also mentioned that you have received 2 questions from the audience.
Ms. Chang,
Yes.
sorry to cut you there.
Yeah.
You will be introducing the speakers or the panelists. So we want to show you the screen, how the screen would look like once you start your introduction.
Okay.
Yeah, so at this part, you will be announcing their names, and this is the screen that we will show to the audience.
I couldn't say the screen. I can.
No, it's not on yet. Give us a couple seconds.
Okay, no problem.
Okay.
Oh, that's
So you will be reading all the names.
Yes.
Names and titles. So just read them out loud first, and after the last name, you just give us some time to put that video in.
Hold on. Right now, I can't say their name on the screen. It has passed.
Okay.
So
there was a bumper just now. Did you see a bumper?
No.
Oh, okay.
Can you repeat? Repeat again?
Okay, let's try to figure that out so that you can see that bumper. So basically what we want to do is there is a graphic bumper on the screen later that shows all their names. So the idea was when you finish reading the last name, you stop there and then we'll run that bumper. It will run for a couple of seconds and we'll show all their names here on the screen, and then we'll come back to a whole screen of you and all the speakers.
Okay.
So what do you see on your screen now?
I can see the stage. I can see myself on the stage. There's a big screen, of course, and then I can see some of your colleagues with masks.
Okay, so you could see the stage and you could see the screen on the stage, right?
Yes, I can see your hand, but I can't see you. And yeah, I can see some people now sitting
so
on the chair.
What you should be seeing is just what you're seeing what we are seeing on the screen. So that's what you should be seeing. So I think that we got to work that out. So it'll be better for you if you could see that. I mean, there's no point of showing the stage now, so we'll try to work on it. Iya, bisa ngeliat tangan juga nih, tanganku juga. Iya. Ya ini yang dimonitor ini. Ya.
You see the person sitting on the stage?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Apa memang harusnya lihat ini? Karena ada yang duduk ya. Apa emang dia harusnya lihat ini atau hanya? Harusnya dia lihat yang ini karena nantinya. Oh, oke. Oh, berarti udah benar dong. Udah benar. Okay, so I think this is what you'll see because we have one speaker who will be present here, so you could also get to see the speaker right here. So this is what you will be seeing on your screen, and also the audience.
Yeah,
Miss
good.
Chang?
So I can see myself all the time. That's nice.
Okay, so that was that part. So just a short reminder. Once you finish reading the last name, you could just stop there and give us a couple of seconds to run the bumper, and then the next screen you will see is what you're seeing right now, where you could see all the speakers, including the one on the stage. And this part you will let the first speaker to present their slides or whatever presentation. So we're gonna just role play that at this moment you are allowing Miss Lucia.
Okay.
Let us know your perspective on this. So this is what we will see once Miss Lucia starts her presentation. Let's see.
Okay.
Okay, let's
so we'll try. So if you want to present Miss Lucia for her presentation.
Yeah, so now let's invite Miss Lucia to present her view and her perspective about financial inclusion. So
Okay, so now
Lucia will then start to present. Okay, that's good.
Okay, so this is Lucia, and there's a timer on the bottom left.
Very good. Now, I can see the timer. That's fantastic. Okay, the Lucia has a presentation. Oh no, that's from Mr. Finance Republic of Indonesia, not Germany.
Yeah, that's the second
That's another slide. Yeah.
Okay, so this is Miss Lucia, and we'll go back. Oh, sorry. We're gonna try to end the timer.
Okay.
Speeding it up. Okay. Okay, there will be that sound when the timer is
Thank you
up.
so much for sharing your wonderful experience of promoting financial inclusion and those exciting cases. So now let's move to our next panelist. I don't know the name. I think they have got changed. So
this is Miss
who will be the
Ririn.
next one?
Miss Ririn.
Miss Ririn, right? Miss Ririn.
Yes.
The Director of Government Investment Center, Indonesia Ministry of Finance. Okay, so the floor is yours. You have 5 minutes. Go ahead. Yeah, please go ahead. Okay. Yeah, then we have a presentation to show. That is good.
Yes. Time's up.
Yes. Yeah, thank you again. This is a wonderful, really great to know the examples you just shared, and that I think can be quite relevant to many emerging markets here, XYZ. So, okay, so now we will move to the third panelist.
Mr. Zain.
Mr. Zain. I think this is a new name.
This is the new one.
Yes. Okay. From the Economic Empowerment Department, Islamic Development Bank. Okay, Senior Investment Officer, Ms. Zain. Good. Okay.
Okay, timer
so we
up.
give him 5 minutes afterwards.
Okay. All right, and the last one will be Mr. Ivan Cosio Cortez. He will be the one here live on stage.
Okay, very good. So he's called Ivan, not Ivan, right? Because different country might have different pronunciation. Just want to double check.
Ivan. Yeah, it's Ivan.
Ivan. Okay, that's good. So it's okay if I just call them their first name, right? I don't have to call them Mr. Cortez or Ivan is fine, right?
I think it's okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Okay, so
Okay.
Ivan will finish his part and then
Yeah.
we will open up for the Q&A, open up the floor for Q&A. Of course, I will say a few conclusion, summary,
Okay.
and highlight the key takeaway. And afterwards,
Okay.
we will then, oh yeah, the final panelist. I think
So this
Ivan will
is
be on site, right?
yes. This is Ivan. He will be on site. The presentation. Now we're gonna try the Q&A session.
Yes.
So we're gonna see how we're gonna execute that. So
Okay.
the next agenda would be you taking back the whole scene, and then you will be reading out the questions. I believe she will be reading out the questions, or
Yeah, I will be reading out the question. So, well, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, well, actually, we have two questions from the audience here
Yes.
offline.
okay.
Yes.
So we will give you the names, and after that, we can look from the chat room. I think for ease of, for your convenience, we can also feeding you with the questions that we have picked. If that's okay with you, so we can.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So let me just better understand this. The two questions from the audience. Do you expect I call the
Yes.
person who raised the question and he or she would then talk and raise the question by himself or herself? Is that right?
Yes. So
Okay.
so the setting is they raise their hand and then you call their names.
How
One
can I
by
say
one.
them? If they raise their hand, how can I say raise up hand?
I think I think they can shoot the camera to the audience.
Coba yuk, Esa. We're gonna try ya, Bu ya, the offline Q&A.
Yeah, if somebody suppose, I
Or
mean, one
you
of,
could probably say that we've received some names from the organizers here. Or,
yeah, yeah,
Yes, maybe.
yeah, that's easier. I can just simply say we have already received two questions from the audience. The first question is raised by XYZ. Now let's invite him to ask his question to the panelists.
Yes.
Okay.
And we'll move the camera towards him or her.
Okay. Okay. And then that person will raise question and then he or she might pick the panelist, one of the panelists to answer, right?
Yes.
And afterwards, then I will move to the second person. I will name that person and then you move the camera to the second person and let him or her ask those questions. Sounds good. So they will only raise one question, right? Or do we expect them
Yes.
to raise multiple? Okay, that's
One
good.
question maybe to one or two panelists.
Okay. So it's a question for one specific panelist, not to the entire panel.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
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 And then if there's still time, then we can provide you with one or two questions from the chat room. So you can read your WhatsApp maybe. So is that okay? So I can WhatsApp you the questions from the chat room. You're mute. Hello? We don't hear you.
Miss Chang, can you hear us?
Okay, now I can talk because I can't unmute myself. The host doesn't allow me to do it. Now, good, you can hear me. Yeah, that's fine. I think we can let those two people answer question first. Then afterwards, I'm sure we still have time left. So I will go back to the list you shared with me. There are 4 questions. So I will just pick some questions and invite all the panelists to answer. Whoever wants to pick the question, they can go ahead.
Okay, so you're going to have a question also to the panelists? Is that
I plan to follow the questions you shared with me. Of course, I can also raise my own question. The problem is that I want the panelists to be informed and prepared in advance. So if, and we only have, I don't know, 2 hours left before we start. So I will stick to the 4 questions you have put on the TOR. That's my plan. Because for the interest of time, is that okay? Or do you want me to raise my own question? I can also do that.
No, it's okay. So if there's still time, we can give you the questions from the chat room through WhatsApp, and then I think that should be enough.
Okay. Okay, good. So when I do the Q&A session, there will be a timer or no?
Yes,
on the screen.
Q&A section, there will be a timer.
On the screen, right? So I can
Yes.
see it. Okay, sounds good.
Okay, this is the timer for the Q&A session.
I don't see, oh, now I can see it. Okay, perfect. Okay, so afterwards I will make some conclusion and thank some panelists once again, thank the organizer, and then hand over back to the MC.
Yes. So we'll just try that. There will be a bumper as well. So at this part, you will be handing it over back to the MC. If you could just do a short closing, mau di running bumper closingnya. Okay, if you could just do a short closing, we'll show you the bumper.
Okay, so you want me to do it now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me see. Yeah, so thank you everyone for your time tonight. And I think all of us have heard from our distinguished panelists today, and I hope you can walk outside, walk with 3 key takeaway from today's panel discussion. So those 3 takeaways are number 1, number 2, number 3, blah, 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 blah. And then again, wish all of you are nice evening, and we're looking forward to meeting you next time somewhere. Thank you.
Thank you. See you.
Okay.
We're gonna show this. Yeah, we're gonna show all the speakers, and then this bumper.
Okay. Okay. So one quick question. Before I start the Q&A, do you plan to show the bumper, or do you just want me to jump directly from the 5 minutes presentation of the participants? I mean, that first part of this panel discussion to the Q&A. So will there be any break in between?
There wouldn't be a bumper before the Q&A. There is no bumper before Q&A. So
no.
you go straight directly from after all the speakers, you go straight to Q&A. So that would be in your discretion when you would jump into the Q&A.
Okay. Okay.
Ms. Chang, we're going to show you the opening bumper. As I said, there will be the 4 names right after you read the last name. So let's try to rehearse that part. Just read the last name, which is, the last one would be Ivan Cosio Cortez. So we're just going to try that part.
Okay.
Okay. So, okay. So we will have you to read that last name, and then we will show the bumper so you could see the bumper that we were talking about.
Okay, nothing comes out yet. Okay.
Okay, so this is where you introduce all names. You could just mention the last name.
I don't say their names on the screen. I can only say myself.
Yes, yes. So this is the part where you introduce all 4 names.
I see. Okay. So once you send the updated panelist list to me, then I will be able to say their names. I think I remember Lucia, I remember Ivan, I remember Rivian, and also Zing. But the family name, unfortunately, I will have to have that list. Yeah.
That's okay. Well, at this part, you could just mention, and the fourth speaker is Ivan, and we'll run the bumper. We just need the cue from you. You don't have to mention all four names.
I see.
I'll send you the
Just
email.
for the rehearsal part, just for this rehearsal part.
I'll send you the email then with
Yeah.
the names.
Okay. Okay. So what I plan to do is that once you hand over the floor to me, I will share the key objective, of course, thank them and then share the key objective of the panel discussion today and introduce all four panelists. After that, I will then call for the first panelist to come forward and share her presentation. So once you hear me call her name, Lucia, okay, the floor is yours. Then you can show the bumper. And
Oh, no, sorry. The bumper would be right after you introduce all four.
Oh.
Right after you introduce all, you read all their names. That would be before you let the first speaker speak. So
I see.
yeah.
Okay.
So what we're trying to do right now, we want to show you the bumper. You could just say speaker 1, speaker 2, speaker 3, and speaker 4, and stop there, and we'll show you the bumper.
Okay.
That would be our cue. So you could go now. You don't have to use
Speaker
their names.
1, speaker 2, speaker 3, speaker 4.
Okay, go now.
Yeah. So this is what we will be showing.
Okay.
Okay, and once this ends, we'll go back to all speakers and you.
Okay. 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 Understand. So once this bumper is closed, then I will invite the first speaker to share her view. And the camera, the stage will move. I mean, you will then move to her and let her talk. Okay?
Yep. All right.
Perfect. So I think I have everything. The only thing which is pending from your side, first of all, I want to have the latest panelist name, the title, and secondly, please share with me the name of the two person who raised questions from the audience, so I can call them out when we move into the Q&A session. I think that's it, right? Did I miss anything?
All right. Yes, we will send those to you, all panelists, and also the questions or those who will be asking the questions here at the venue.
Understand. Okay.
Right.
So one last question. I plan to join a little bit earlier so we don't miss it. I might join around 7 because our session starts from 7:30. So when I join, I will say, what am I going to say there? I will say the first panel, right? I'm just wondering about the access. Will the panelist and moderator have a separate access to the meeting, or we will be just dialing together with all the other online participants? We will use the same channel, right?
Yes, I believe there is a waiting room. We'll make sure about that and we'll contact you, but I'm sure there is a waiting room. In case you haven't received the link, I'll ask the organizers to prepare that link.
Can you stay in this link? Because this is the link of the seminar.
Oh, this link.
Yes, I think this is a link Sari shared with me because the previous one from the email didn't work. I don't know what happened there. Yeah. Okay. I will use the one she shared with me via WhatsApp, and also I will come in earlier. So in case any accident happen, we still have enough time to work around.
Okay. Okay. So you can leave or you can stay. So using this link.
I will now sign off. If no more question from me, thank you so much. This is very helpful.
Thank you, Ms. Chang.
Thank you.
a little reminder from the organizers that our event will start at 6:30 p.m. Bali time, then Pasar time. And your session will be, let me just check with them,
7:30.
7:40, ya. Jam 7? Jam 7, sorry. Yeah, is it?
Okay.
Let me just be sure about that. Okay, yeah, so you will be joining us at 7 p.m. Bali time.
Okay. Okay, good.
All right, thank you very
Sounds
much,
good.
Ms. Chia.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Nanti aku tambahin. Berarti ini kayaknya yang tadi Mbak Sari taksir nggak sih?
Kita masuk lagi ya.
Aku tambahin dulu ya Mbak, nanti aku kasih Mbak Sari. Kasih Mbak Sari pusing. Tapi
Hello.
Hi. Hi, Purnima. This is Sari.
Hi, Ibu. Can you
Hi.
see me?
Hi, so glad to see you finally.
You too.
Okay.
Can you hear me, Ibu?
Excuse me?
Can you hear me clearly? It's my voice.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, good. So we still have time, so I'll come back because just wanted to check the video and the audio.
Okay. Can we run through, or you already know the drill? So
Oh, yeah, sure, Ibu.
okay, so maybe I can brief you a little bit. So
Mm-hmm.
our master of ceremony, Tim, will introduce you with CV.
Mm-hmm.
No, before that, there is Ibu Gusti Ayu. She will be introduced by Tim, by our master of ceremony, to give her remarks. And after that, thank you, Ibu Gusti, and then introduce you with reading your CV, and then the floor is yours.
Okay.
So after the floor is yours, then you can, and will be a bumper. There will be, it's like a motion picture, like moving picture, saying the names of the panelists. Wait, are they, is Purnima, read the names first, then bumper, or bumper, then read the names?
sama kayak tadi Bu.
Tadi gimana sih?
Yang tadi read the names dulu. Kalau nggak ntar di flow-nya biar dibantuin sama Mas
Oh,
Bima.
nanti dulu, nanti dulu.
Oh ya, oke. Siap.
Yes. So you will. So there will be a bumper that with the moving picture, and then you mention their names, for the four names of the panelists, and then yes, and then there will be the picture of them in the screen. So after that, you will allow them to speak one by one. And then after that, during the Q&A session, or maybe after each presentation, you can give one or two concluding sentence about their presentation. And after entering the Q&A session, there will be Pak Dodi Budiwaluyo, and you will allow him to speak, to give his remark first. And after that Q&A session. Is that okay?
Yeah, Ibu, let me clarify. Okay, thanks for the information. So first, we will have the remarks from Ibu Gusti, and then there will be bumper with all these panelists and the moderator. and then I'll be introducing everyone and start the introductory presentations. Is that correct? And then before we go to the Q&A session, we will also have time for Park Value's remarks, right?
Yes.
And then go to the Q&A session.
Yes.
So that means we have the introductory presentations and then Park Value's remarks and then go to the Q&A session, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So the plan is now actually we are planning for 2 rounds of Q&As. And also to accept questions from the audience. So my question is that for the physical audience there, how you would handle that, because for the virtual audience we will get into the chat box, right?
Yes, actually, we have already one offline question from the audience here. So I can you read WhatsApp, or you cannot read my WhatsApp?
I see your message, Ibu, but when I try to respond, I'm having some WhatsApp crash. That's why I was emailing you. But let me try to figure out what's wrong with my phone. Okay, I'll somehow figure it out.
So how do you think I can reach you? So I can still WhatsApp you.
It's best actually if you can send me through the chat box, through the Zoom.
Okay, I can direct message you. So
Yeah.
I just but I'm afraid you will confuse with the other.
Yeah,
chats,
that's
so.
true. That's true. Or you can email me and I keep checking my emails too, in case that I don't get my WhatsApp messages soon.
So I can email you and then WhatsApp you, so
Yes.
because you can read. So I
Yes,
will
it
let you know the name of the audience who will ask the question offline.
Okay.
And then if we still have time, there is questions from the chat room. Can we also give you the summary question from the chat room so you can just read our message?
Sure,
So
sure,
you don't have
Ibu.
to, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So great if you can email me the same so I can keep checking it and ask the questions accordingly, because we have already prepared a list of questions for 2 rounds, like each question will be like 2-3 minutes. And so I'll see how I can also integrate the questions from the audience with the ones we already have.
Okay. Okay, great.
So just to clarify, Ibu, so we will have the presentations first and then Park Value's remarks and then the Q&A session, right?
Excuse me?
So we will have the presentations and then Park Value's remarks and then the Q&A session, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Mohon maaf Ibu. Jadi kita Pak Dodi dulu baru Q&A.
Ya udah. Yes.
Pak Dodi dulu baru masuk ke Q&A baru closing remarks. Oke. Closing tadi. Enggak ya?
No. So you get it right that Pak Dodi Budiwaluyo first, and then Q&A, and then closing remark. Is that
okay?
Yes.
Okay, Bu. And just flow. Also, you mentioned that Park Komang will be physically joining the event, right?
Excuse me?
Park Komang.
Oh, come on, yes. He will be there.
Okay,
So
okay.
maybe to make it easier, maybe we can run through the session, the flow, yeah? Yeah, the MC, Mr. Our Timothy will guide you. Is that okay? So we can run through as if it's the event.
Okay, Bu.
Hello, Miss Munima.
Hi, Park.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
So I will be the MC for our event, and I will be the one introducing you. I'm just gonna go through the rundown here for you, where I will be reading a short bio, your short bio here. Okay. So first of all, we need to correct your position here. You're not in the middle of the screens, as you can
Okay,
see.
I'll do that, Park.
We cannot see it, the whole face, your whole face.
Okay,
So,
sure, we'll do that.
you have to be exactly at the middle of the screen, so the team here could kind of put you exactly at the right spot when we put up the big screen with the various windows there.
Okay, Park.
So,
Okay.
thank you for that. Okay. So you need to be a little lower and to your left, a little to your left.
Okay.
You would position it lower and a little to your left. Okay. Could you move the screen, Miss Punima?
Can you see me now, Pa?
Yes.
Okay.
Lower. Could you move it a little lower? All right, that
Okay.
would be perfect. Still lower. Sorry. Still a little more.
How is it now?
Okay, and to your left. If you can move it to your left.
Okay. Maybe like this. But sorry, actually, I will need to leave in minute because I'm having some power cut here and my battery is dying out. I need to get this charge back. So I'll make this correct. And can you just quickly go through the rundown?
Okay. Okay, so we'll fix
And I'll
that
just
later.
turn the video off for now, okay? Because I just need to save this.
Sorry, we didn't get. Hello, Miss Punima.
Yeah, I'll just turn off the video for now, Pak, okay? Because
Okay. I see. Okay. Okay, so we'll just go through the rundown. So I will be reading out the rundown, and you will see when the bumpers will jump in. Okay, aku start ya. We will continue to our next agenda, the panel discussion of International Seminar on Digital Transformation for Financial Inclusion of Women, Youth, and MSMEs to Promote Inclusive Growth, with the first topic, Access for All, Building Inclusive Finance for Women, Youth, MSME, and Social Benefit Recipients. And our second topic, Unlocking Financial Inclusion as the Pathway Towards Economic Inclusion. Before we proceed to the first topic of the panel discussion, I would like to invite Minister of Women Empowerment and Children Protection as the guest lecturer of the first panel discussion. Ibu I Gusti Ayu Bintang Darmawati, the time is yours. Mau di-roll atau langsung? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now commence the first panel discussion. We invite you to participate in the discussion in person or online by submitting your questions. Aku skip dulu ini. For the president of the venue, you may raise your hand. For those present at the venue, you may raise your hand during the Q&A session, and the moderator will be informed and give you time to deliver your question. Please also state your name and institution and to whom the question is addressed to. Commencing the first panel discussion, I would like to invite Bapak Komang Sukarsana, owner of Bali Arabica Kintamani, to join us at the stage as one of the panelists. Please welcome Bapak Komang. Thank you very much, Bapak Komang, for being present with us at the venue. Now, ladies and gentlemen, our moderator for this first panel discussion is a financial sector specialist from the Asian Development Bank. She has been involved in ADB's financial inclusion interventions in the Southeast Asia region and currently is the financial inclusion lead for Indonesia. Ms. Punima Jayawardana holds a Master of Science in International Development from the University of Manchester in the UK and BBA, MBA, and PhD degrees from the Ritsumeikan Asia Pacific University in Japan. She has also received professional executive education on financial inclusion and financial technology from Harvard University, the United States, Oxford University, and Cambridge University in the UK. Without further ado, I would like to give the floor to Ms. Punima Jayawardana to lead the panel discussion on our first topic. Okay, Ms. Punima, this is where you do your opening.
Okay, Pa. So should I just go through the introduction?
Yes, and at the end of your introduction, right after you read the last name, you could just stop there and we'll have another bumper to show their names. So if you could just do a short opening and also just shortly mention their names just for the rehearsal.
Okay. So I'll just start with the introduction. So, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. First of all, I would like to welcome you all to this panel discussion on building inclusive finance for women, youth, MSMEs, and social benefit recipients as part of the G20 International Seminar on Digital Transformation for Financial Inclusion to promote inclusive growth. We are having a very interesting panel to discuss on this topic today. So before we start the discussion, let me introduce our panelists. Today, we are very happy to have with us Andrew Woolnough.
Oh, yeah.
Will you show a bumper right after that?
Yes. So right after you mentioned the last panelist name, we will run a bumper. So
Oh, the last
could you just
panelist, right? So I'll just go through the introduction of the whole panel and then you will show the bumper, right?
exactly? So you will be
Okay.
reading out. So you will be reading out Miss Aitam, and then you go to Mr. Andy. Our third speaker will be Mr. Richard Finke, and also Bapak Komang Sukarsana, owner of Bali Arabica Kintamani. Once you stop there, we'll run a bumper before we commence.
Okay, so let me go from there. So today we are very happy to have it us Andrew Woolnough. He's the Executive Vice President for Global Advocacy and Influence from the Women's World Banking. Andrew has more than 25 years of experience in global corporate affairs and leadership roles working in international markets across Asia, the Middle East, and Africa. Thank you for being with us today, Andy. And as already mentioned, we also have with us Pak Komang Sukarsana. He's the founder of Bali Arabica, the only Arabica coffee production business in Bali. Thank you for joining us today, Pak Komang. Also with us today, Richard Finke. He's the Vice President for the Middle East Investment Initiative. Richard is an experienced private sector development professional who has worked with banks, MFIs, SMEs, and large companies across Middle East, North Africa, Southeast Asia, the US, and Europe. Currently, he is overseeing the implementation of a credit guarantee facility to support SMEs as well as fintech solution Tamvili. Thank you for joining us, Richard. Finally, also with us today on the panel, Haitham Al Bulaiga. He's a senior advisor to the Deputy Governor for Research and International Affairs at the Saudi Central Bank. Haitham has over 17 years of experience in the financial sector and has held multiple positions at Saudi Central Bank. He was a senior policy lead for the G20 Saudi finance track during the Saudi G20 presidency. He is a member of the Financial Inclusion Task Force of Arab Monetary Fund and a co-chair of the Financial Inclusion Working Group at the Organization of Islamic Cooperation. Thank you for joining us, Haitham.
Okay, is Haitam the last name?
That's
there?
the last name, Pak.
Okay.
It's four panelists.
Okay, that was perfect, but we have a different, the sequence was different here. So we'll send you, so we'll send you who goes first, until the last. So how the sequence will gonna be. So we have, so we would know who would be at the last name. Therefore, we would know when to run the bumper. Because we were gonna run the bumper right after Richard.
According to the questions we have, but that's
Exactly.
okay. This is the presentation sequence, but it's okay for us to change that because that's just for the purpose of the bumper, right? Just to make it align, right? Okay.
Exactly, just to be in line with that, so we know that that would be the last name that you present, and we would know that that's the time to run the bumper. So at this moment, we're gonna go with Haitam. That's the last name in your list, right?
Yes.
Okay, so once you finish reading Haitam, thank you for joining us. This is what you're gonna see.
Yes.
Oke, tolong kasih cue ke kita dengan kata-kata please
Okay,
welcome
so
our four panelists gitu.
okay. So before you, after you read all those names, you could just present them by, please welcome the four speakers. So that would be our cue.
Okay.
Okay, so let's try that. You just mentioned that one sentence and we'll run the bumper.
So please welcome our speakers.
Okay, perfect. So this is the screen that you will see right after that bumper. You'll be able to see all speakers and yourself as well here.
Okay, Pak.
Okay, so let's try as you give each speaker their time.
So this is for the presentations, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So should we also, again mention about the Q&A from the audience, or just enough because you already mentioned that, Pak?
But the Q&A?
Yeah, I just wanted to remind the participants for the active participation and also to send their comments and
Sure.
questions to
Yeah.
the chat box.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
so I can just remind that, right?
Yes.
So before we start the discussion, I would also appreciate active participation from the audience. And for those who are joining virtually, feel free to leave your comments and questions to the chat box, and we'll get back to them during the Q&A session. So without further ado, let's start with a short 3-4 minutes interactive presentations or remarks from our panel. First, I would like to request Andy to share introduction to the Women's World Banking and its work around women's entrepreneurship and the Women's Digital Financial Inclusion Global Hub and support for Indonesia. Andy, the floor is yours.
Okay, so we will show the first speaker here, and you might notice there is a timer on the bottom left of your screen.
Yes, yeah, I can see that.
Yes, that will be this timer for the speaker, and we're gonna try to speed up the timer to show you the sound that will show that the timer is off. Let's try to speed it up. So, okay. Okay, so that's what you will hear.
Okay,
The timers.
yeah, I can see that.
Okay, so we'll go straight to this screen where you will be with the first speaker, and you could say thank you to the first speaker, and we'll be moving on to the second speaker. Okay, from this screen, we will show a wider screen, a wider shot. Nico white shot lagi ya? Nico white semua lagi? Okay. Okay, so we're gonna show this wide shot again, and you may move on to the second speaker.
Okay, shall I just rehearse now on the second one? Yeah, thank you, Andy, for sharing about Women's World Banking's engagement in supporting women's financial or digital financial inclusion. And now let's move to Pak Komang to share his insights and experience on Kopi Bali Arabica Kintamani, including opportunities and challenges in financing, digitalization, and expansion of MSMEs. Pak Komang, over to you.
Okay. So this will be Pak Komang. He will also see a timer on the monitor in front of him. And so this will be going on for all 4 speakers.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So we'll consider Pak Komang as the last speaker, and this is where you toss it to Pak Dodi Budi.
Okay. I can just, this is just after the presentation, right? So
After the presentation, yeah.
Okay, so let's assume that it's Pak Kaman, the last one. So many thanks to Pak Kaman and also to all our panelists for the interactive presentations and remarks. Before we move to the Q&A session, please let me invite Honorable Pak Dodi Budi Bayu, the Deputy Governor of Bank Indonesia, to provide his remarks on this important topic. Pak Bayu, the floor is yours. Is that okay, Pak? That's the sequence.
Yeah. Okay, so this will be Pak Dodi's screen. And he will deliver his remarks on this, his comments. All right, and he will toss it back to you.
Okay, so many thanks, Pak Valyu, for sharing your insights on the topic. Now let's move to the Q&A session, and I would like to start with. Okay, then I'll go to the questions, Pak.
Exactly. Yes. I think you may address Pak Waluyo as just Pak Dodi. I mean, it's pretty common in Indonesia.
Okay.
Yeah. It's okay.
Just Pak Dodi. Okay. Thanks, Pak.
Much easier, I guess.
True.
So, perfect. So we will go straight to the Q&A after Pa Dodi gave his comments. And you will go straight to the Q&A. I believe that you will receive names of those at the venue who will be asking their questions. Is that true? The penanya di venue nanti namanya akan disetor ke dia, sama kayak Fang Fang. Okay, so the organizers will inform you once they have the name of any one of the audience who wish to ask a question at the venue, present at the venue. So they will inform you later on.
Okay, Pa. So we can be online by 6:30, right? 10 minutes before the event with all the panelists.
Yes. Purnima?
Yes, Ibu.
Yes. I can see you have a bit of trouble if you use a virtual background.
Should I take
maybe
it out, Ibu?
Yes. Maybe we can
Okay.
suggest that you take it out.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Okay, thank you. So is that all? Is that all, Tim? So if that's all, so we'll see you at
Okay. 6:15.
6:30, like Ibu.
Yes. So this is the link, so you can stay or you can re-enter later.
Okay, now it's working, Ibu, so I'll re-enter
Okay.
by that time. So, Ibu, in terms of the virtual background, I'll just try at the beginning, and if it's problematic, then I'll take it out, okay? Just to make things consistent.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much.
See
One more
you.
thing, Miss Purnima,
Yes,
about
Pa.
the camera angle. So it will be best just to position at the center of your screen.
Yeah,
That's
sure, sure, Pa. We'll adjust that,
All
and we can try everything out before the pre-chat 10 minutes soon.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. We'll see you at 6:15 Bali time.
Okay, thank you. See you.
Thank you very
Bye-bye.
much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Boo.
Baik, teman-teman, mohon maaf Bapak Ibu serta teman-teman yang ada di ruang sini. Sesaat lagi kita break sejenak untuk membetulkan input-input yang ada tadi. Jadi kita ringkas secara singkat ya dari rundown yang sudah kita gladikan bersama dengan para narasumber, terutama moderator. Jadi yang pertama kita akan open Zoom, itu 18.00 sudah open Zoom, karena startnya di 18.25. Urutannya yang pertama nanti MC akan melakukan pembukaan, lalu welcome remarks dari Ibu Menteri Keuangan, Ibu SMI, lalu keynote speech dari Bapak GBI, dilanjutkan guest lecture, itu dari Ibu Menteri Pemberdayaan Perempuan, lalu masuk ke panel diskusi 1. Urutan dari panel diskusi yang 1 itu sesuai konsep, yaitu sama seperti panel diskusi kedua, di mana Bapak Komang nanti tidak naik lebih awal dan MC tidak greeting. Jadi ketika MC membacakan profil dari moderator pertama, sampai ada tayangan bumper moderator, lalu moderator on cam, dia pembukaan di sesi 1, lanjut moderator akan memanggil 4 narasumber, bumper seluruh moderator tayang, disitulah Pak Komang dan juga narasumber yang lain baru naik ke atas panggung atau on cam, 3 narasumber yang secara virtual join. Teknisnya masih sama seperti yang kita gladikan, hanya saja treatmentnya panel diskusi pertama dan panel diskusi kedua sama. Jadi sekali lagi Pak Komang tidak naik lebih awal. Beliau akan naik berbarengan dengan narasumber yang lain setelah bumper all narasumber. Itu ya. Untuk MC nanti tolong disesuaikan lagi skripnya, ada yang terbaru sudah kami sampaikan ke Mas Esa, dan list of VIP juga nambah yang di greeting. Mungkin seperti itu setelah diskusi panel pertama, diskusi panel kedua, lalu masuk closing remarks masih sama dari Magda Bianco, dan selanjutnya MC menutup acara, kurang lebih 20.30, maksimal banget adalah 21.00 waktu Indonesia Tengah. Terima kasih teman-teman, sekali lagi tetap jaga protokol kesehatannya, HP-nya tolong di silence yang ada di dalam sini, ya. Sekali lagi HP tolong di silence, tetap patuhi protokol kesehatan. Masker tolong jangan diturunkan di dagu, selalu dipakai. Terima kasih. Selamat sore, tim Pusaka. Apakah mendengar suara dari Mulia Nusa Dua Bali?
Selamat siang, Mas. Kami dari tim Pusaka bisa mendengar dengan jelas.
Baik, sebentar kita pinkan Ibu ya, biar sama-sama bisa ngelihat. Kita cek jaringan. Ini nanti yang ditempati oleh Ibu menyampaikan welcome remarks ya, Ibu?
Bukan, Mas. Nanti akun Ibu akan join sendiri. Nanti juga akan kami tes sebelum dimulai, Mas.
Baik, untuk tim Pusaka kita jadikan co-host atau nanti yang punya Ibu yang kita jadikan co-host?
Cukup yang ini aja, Mas, yang dijadikan host. Nanti kami yang admit jika Ibu sudah masuk room.
Baik, yang ini kita jadikan co-host, nanti
Betul.
yang update-nya langsung dari teman-teman Pusaka yang di sana ya?
Ya, betul, Mas.
Boleh tes kamera, Ibu, maaf izin.
Mohon maaf yang untuk akun ini tidak ada kameranya, Mas. Nanti untuk join di akun satunya lagi untuk akunnya Bu Menteri ya, Mas ya.
Oh, baik, nanti minta tolong
Ya,
dipastikan
nanti akan
aja.
coba tes kamera.
Oh, baik.
Oke, makasih, Mas.
Baik, Ibu. Terima kasih juga. Kita tunggu untuk yang dari ini ya, Bu ya, yang untuk Ibu pada saat
Betul.
memberikan welcome-nya nanti.
Oke, Mas. Makasih.
Sama-sama, Ibu. Selamat sore dari kediaman Bapak Dodi. Apakah mendengar suara kami yang dari Mulia Nusa Dua Bali? Selamat sore Bapak atau Ibu yang berada di kediaman Bapak Dodi Budiwaluyo. Apakah mendengar suara kami, Pak? Selamat sore, Bapak Ibu yang ada di ruang kerja atau kediaman Bapak Dodi Budiwaluyo.
Sore Bapak.
Ya, selamat sore Bapak. Izin, untuk Bapak Dodi, apakah nanti yang akan dipakai ada tempat ini?
Iya Pak, betul.
Oke, boleh tolong disesuaikan dulu silahkan. Untuk kamera dan posisi Bapak.
Oke, izin Bapak untuk untuk agenda ini apakah Bapak perlu menggunakan virtual background?
Sebentar, kami sampaikan. Bebas mau dengan virtual background yang sekarang dipakai boleh, mau dengan virtual background acara juga boleh, bebas intinya, silakan.
Oh iya, udah siap. Mungkin seperti ini dulu, nanti kalau misalnya memang ada perubahan dari Bapak, ntar aku ganti virtual background gitu paling Pak.
Mohon maaf, suaranya nggak begitu jelas Pak, boleh diulang?
Kalau sekarang cukup jelas Pak.
Ya, kalau sekarang cukup jelas.
Nah,
Kalau
jadi,
suara yang dari Mulia ke tempat kediaman atau tempat kerja Bapak, jelas?
jelas sekali Pak.
Oke, baik. Mohon dapat disesuaikan kembali Pak untuk virtual background-nya. Nah, untuk kamera tolong disesuaikan dulu. Garudanya masih kepotong, silahkan disesuaikan dulu.
Oke Pak, paling kurang lebih sih segini cukup sih Pak.
Kurang lebihnya ya, baik. Baik, nanti tolong disampaikan ke Bapak, beliau nanti akan di-greeting ketika Bapak join di awal, itu ketika MC pembukaan seperti biasa, nanti akan tayang layarnya, itu ada Ibu MK, lalu Bapak dan juga co-chair dari Itali, Magda Bianco. Jadi ada 3 nanti yang akan tayang di layar ya Pak ya.
Ya Pak.
Jadi izin tolong nanti Bapak bisa join 18.15 karena acara start itu 18.25 waktu Indonesia Tengah, waktu Bali.
18.25. Oh iya, berarti 17.25 di sini ya Pak ya?
Ya, 18.15 itu harapannya Bapak sudah join atau 18.20 Bapak sudah ada di tempat yang sekarang. Nanti 18.25 itu waktu Indonesia Tengah ya, itu acara sudah start. Nah, nanti untuk Bapak Dodi sendiri, beliau akan jadi penanggap, itu ada di sesi panel diskusi yang pertama. Ketika moderator nanti memimpin diskusi, dari 4 narasumber yang sudah diminta untuk menyampaikan paparan masing-masing, per masing-masing narasumber itu 5 menit Pak. Nah ketika masuk sesi Q&A, sebelum masuk Q&A nanti Bapak Dodi akan memberikan tanggapan kepada seluruh narasumber yang sudah memberikan paparan tadi. Itu nanti dipersilahkan oleh moderator terlebih dahulu. Mungkin gambarannya seperti itu, kurang lebih waktu panel diskusi itu di 45 menitan kurang lebih. Secara keseluruhan itu termasuk sesi Q&A juga. Mungkin itu Mas dapat kami sampaikan.
Izin Pak, maksudnya mau ini lagi. Jadi sebelum sesi Q&A nanti Bapak akan memberikan tanggapan dari narasumber kurang lebih gitu ya Pak ya?
Iya betul sekali. Jadi ketika 4 narasumber sudah menyampaikan kesempatan melakukan paparan, masing-masing narsum itu waktunya 5 menit yang diberikan oleh moderator, sudah semuanya, baru moderator nanti meminta Pak Dodi untuk memberikan tanggapan. Nah Pak Dodi nanti akan muncul di layar, lalu Bapak akan memberikan tanggapan ke 4 narsum atau tanggapan yang sudut pandang Bapak lah intinya seperti itu. Setelah memberikan tanggapan, baru masuk ke sesi Q&A. Seperti itu.
Siap Pak, kalau gitu.
Baik.
Izin Pak, mau menanyakan, kalau untuk kayak narasumber lain ini pakai VB atau enggak? Maksudnya biar seragam, sekiranya memang menggunakan VB, semuanya nanti biar kita coba sesuaikan gitu Pak. Kalau kayak dari sini kan posisi dengan potret gini agak kurang ini ya Pak, bawah gitu.
Ya, jadi untuk narasumber yang lain juga bebas, bisa menggunakan key visual dan juga bisa menggunakan background yang ada di ruangannya. Karena kebetulan narasumber belum pada join, baru beberapa yang join. Tadi kita gladinya dengan para moderator, kuncinya di situ.
Oke siap Pak, nanti coba kita sesuaiin aja Pak, kalau gitu Pak.
Baik, siap. Terima kasih Mas,
banyak,
nanti tolong disampaikan sekali lagi ke Bapak, 18.20 atau 18.15 Bapak sudah join, itu waktu Indonesia Tengah ya Mas ya?
Nah iya.
Terima kasih.
20 waktu sini ya Pak. Oke siap.
Ya betul sekali. Terima kasih. Jadi kita tunggu sebentar lagi, kita juga akan open Zoom. Terima kasih Mas, sampai bertemu di acaranya. Terima kasih.